Hello YouTubers, this video I will try to prove that the energy unit is non-dimensional math construct equal to 1 or unit 1, or energy measurement unit is digit 1. In my introduction video I claim that mathematics is the fabric of existence. The nature, naturally occurring phenomena, not just speaks in mathematics language, but mathematics is the nature. This claim is true in my point of view. Also, this claim is not very hard to comprehend, but this claim evokes solipsism philosophical point of view. Solipsism, from Latin solus meaning alone, and ipse meaning self, is philosophical idea that only one's mind is sure to exist. So material world, so to speak, is illusion according to solipsists. My view holds that body is matter and soul is mind, are different but inseparable entities according René Descartes' view. Body is material, inanimate, dead nature. But as we know, mass as an energy has quantity conservation law. Body is real, so this duality in solipsism philosophy not applies to them. And soul is mind for conscious beings, and conscience is information, and information is also sustained quantity conservation law. Because information, like energy, has entropy concept. Information entropy is the average rate at which information is produced by stochastic source of data. But to prove and unite these two theories is very subjective matter. In physics exists chaos theory. We measure chaos by comparing with lack of order. Evil is lack of good, and good is lack of evil. Maybe pulp fiction novels readings are more valuable than William Shakespeare masterworks. Nobody can say for sure. Only we as conscious beings understand that they contain some information or structure that makes sense. In mathematics terms, is a search of structured pattern. When we find these patterns, we make sense about surroundings. But any physics unit requires etalon or standard, like kilogram is etalon of mass in C measurement system. Dimensional energy unit 1 is an absolute energy measurement unit without any reference to our measurement unit systems. But it's not absolute truth, because without information unit unification it's not foolproof. In my opinion, to separate entity, soul and body is impossible. It's like light is electromagnetic wave, but light as magnetic field or light like electric field cannot exist separately. Only in unit light it is as it is. Energy is middle ground between inanimate dead world of body, aka mass, and soul, information receiver as conscious observer of surrounding by receiving information by 6 senses: touch, vision, hearing, smell, taste, and 6th sense is vestibular apparatus of walking or motion in 3D space on 2 legs. So, motion is the basis of energy. To explain absolute energy unit 1 concept, we will investigate this unit from the perspective of engineering. This example is from classical mechanics of a rigid body. This example will be obvious, but also very intuitive to transition to more complex examples. I don't want to make this video about engineering. I personally am more interested in philosophy, but this example can be used in calculation of efficiency. Also, this example shows connection and reason why we must use energy measurement units like joules, calories, British thermal units, horsepower, hydrostatic fluid, high potential energy, and many more. First example, we have internal combustion car which drives with constant velocity W0. Internal combustion engine always sustains constant velocity of a car all the time. This is example of forced driving energy, when car energy is sustained by an internal force. If we have the same car with initial velocity W0 and in time T0, and we turn off internal combustion engine and allow a car to move on its own without any internal force, we will get such energy dependency from time or distance. This is an example of natural process of energy exponential decaying when internal force is off. Equation of forced energy is equal. Natural case energy is equal, where mu is average friction coefficient. Mu consists of many components of obstacles not allowing to move car freely. Air resistance of frontal car cross-section area, bearings friction, tire flatness, friction, and etc. After a long distance x, all initial kinetic energy will become energy of heat losses and car stops completely. All physics processes where an external force is not present, energy/velocity magnitude driven by natural logarithm base math constant number E, that is basis of nature, from small objects like light to big object like a fully loaded train. This example will be without mass unit. As we know, mass is energy, and the best example are gases made from tiny particles called atoms. Atoms always have kinetic energy. Energy is mass. 1 joule energy unit divided by 1 kilogram mass unit equal to non-dimensional energy unit called enthalpy. This video will try to prove this claim by investigating 4 thermodynamics processes with a new concept of forced versus natural energy transfer in mind. Study of thermodynamics will start with first law of thermodynamics, where uppercase U internal energy of gases, uppercase W work done by expanding gases or work required to contract gases, uppercase Q total heat energy. In differential form, this equation looks like that. Default condition of gases thermodynamic state is equal to. Very interesting fact, internal energy is always equal to unit 1. Room temperature of air can be minus 20 degrees Celsius or plus 20 degrees Celsius, and still it will be the same unit 1. Potential or internal energy of gases always equal to unit 1. Environment gases heat energy absolute zero is not allowed by third thermodynamics law. In case of such event, gases collapses to infinity point. Scientific term is singularity point. Room temperature are average velocity of all atoms in the room. Even no work are done by gases. That is true because with energy created by air gravity potential force. 4 thermodynamics processes are isochoric, isobaric, isothermal, and adiabatic will be derived via differential equation for ideal gases, where P is pressure of gases, V specific volume, inverse unit of density, dT gas temperature change, and uppercase R universal gas constant. First, we will derive force-driven thermodynamics processes, isochoric and isobaric. Iso in the Greek language means steady, constant, choric means volume, and baric pressure. We will start from isochoric process of gas heating in sealed container with steady volume inside. Isochoric process operates by ideal gas equation with condition of no specific volume change over time. Work component in ideal gas equation equals to 0. Integrate last equation left side from temperature dT and right side from pressure change dP and get such final result. Expression integration of ideal gas equation gives an integral gas equation, and we get that pressure dependency from heating or cooling gases inside the container equals to. This last equation is the isochoric process function, an equation for 2 points to calculate temperature and pressure parameters from an initial index point 0. To get enthalpy unit, we will use such expression where C index V is specific heat of isochoric process, intrinsic energy unit of gas inside sealed container, and it is a constant value for specific gas material. To get energy value delta E, we multiply from mass m inside container, and we will calculate how much heat energy gained gases from ambient temperature T delta 0 till T. This equation is used in calculation of isochoric process when mass is known, and our goal is to prove that mass and energy is non-dimensional units. I use C measurement system. So in process of this video, we must to prove that specific heat must be non-dimensional unit too. For engineering calculation, that is okay. Our goal is to prove of existence of an absolute energy is mass is information unit independent from any kind of measurement system. We can get conclusion from first law of thermodynamics that in the isochoric process no work is done. All heating energy is used to increase the internal energy of gas. Via process of induction thinking, we can claim that ideal gas equation equal to unit 1. In this video, we will try this claim to make more rigorous. Force-driven thermodynamics process says after losing the external energy source, in our case flame, becomes natural driven energy processes of losing pressure and temperature, exponentially decaying functions from time t. Disclaimer: this equation is approximately and is basis of non-steady heat transfer and heating or cooling as a function of time t. We have isobaric process of gas expansion by external energy source flame. In this process, pneumatic cylinder device is perfectly sealed between piston and cylinder's walls. Heated heated gases start to expand and make piston to move to the right side with constant pressure inside the cylinder. From differential equation for ideal gases, pressure change equals to 0. Internal energy stays constant in the isobaric process. We get such differential equation in the end. Integrate last equation left side from temperature dt and right side from pressure change dV and get such final result. We get similar equation with isochoric equation. Only equation for thermodynamic processes for 2 points is different. Isochoric process temperature increase when to increase pressure in sealed container. In the isobaric process, to increase the specific volume inside a sealed cylinder. To get enthalpy of isobaric process, we will use such expression, where C index P is specific heat of isobaric process, intrinsic energy unit of gas inside a sealed container, and its constant value for specific gas material. To get energy value delta E, we multiply from mass m inside the container, and we will calculate how much heat energy gain gases from ambient temperature T index 0 till T. We have very famous equation to express universal gas constant, sometimes called Meyer's equation. We see that in the equation specific heat of isochoric equation is always less than isobaric process specific heat. Conclusion made from this relation that in the process of equal amount mass in closed system, like container or cylinder, and with equal temperature difference, the isobaric process requires more energy. This aspect is true, but if we paraphrase initial task differently, in different way, let's say if we provide equal amount of energy to 1 kilogram mass of gas with 1 Kelvin degree different to isochoric and isobaric processes, energy will be distributed equally. Only exception is that isobaric process energy will be consumed to internal energy increase plus mechanical work will be done. From the last expression, we define physical definition of universal gas constant. In equal amount of energy provided to the processes, isobaric temperature will be lower than isochoric. When no mechanical work done and all energy consumed to increase internal gas temperature. And again, by applying induction thinking, we must get when energy quantity supplied to the system is equal. Enthalpy and energy in both systems have equal mass. Gas absolute energy unit equal to unit 1. After losing the external energy source, in our case flame, isobaric process becomes naturally driven energy processes of returning piston to the initial starting point distance x, and process described via exponentially decaying function from time. We have a natural driven processes where we definitely will try to prove that energy equal to unit 1. In first two cases, external energy source where heat, in these two cases, will be mechanical work. Is it still forcefully driven process? Short answer is yes. But energy, heat, work are measured in the same measurement units, joules. But in sense of usefulness or information, these units are not equal. Heat is chaos. Mechanical work is order. Mechanical work always have more value than heat energy. For full picture, we need to include electronics, computer science, and linguistic science, where letters order are very important to create words and sentences. I stick primarily with applicable thermodynamics. Applicable thermodynamics is classical mechanics branch whose main purpose is heat energy transformation into useful work. From here we can derive second thermodynamics law, who postulates that 100% efficient heat engine device is impossible to build. Always exist losses. And these energy losses are always in the form of chaotic heat. A car, mechanical and useful energy of motion, is transformed into heat energy in process of wheels braking. Work is information, but 100% of work is impossible. That is simplifying definition of information. Information is energy that makes sense, or at least we can agree that human consciousness is useful for humans. And in the adiabatic process we will talk about entropy, which is energy unit which measures of chaos in the closed system. And this unit has an analogy in the computer science. So at least we know that not all surroundings inputs which people have senses is equally useful. We will find that these two processes, isothermal and adiabatic, are equal, not just in process of action, but also and numerically. We have first thermodynamic law expression in differential form. Isothermally pressurized air in cylinder. Pressurization must be very slowly in such way that before and after of process of pressurization, temperature T index 0 inside container stayed constant, so no temperature difference will happen. We get that no heat energy is produced. In this case, all mechanical work was done to increase internal energy of gas. Divide last equation from P and V and integrate from variables dP, dV, and we get such integration equation. As we know from school, logarithm summation can be replaced by multiplication. This is an absolute unit of energy, or non-dimensional unit of enthalpy. Not just any enthalpy, but air internal energy of atoms, which I will remind you is always equals to unit 1, even in near absolute zero temperature. Scientists Leibniz called kinetic energy as vis viva, Latin means living force. We get also a very interesting conclusion that pressure of gases is similar to specific volume. A reason why I believe in Descartes' dualism of body and mind is because separate mind from body is a very difficult task. I believe in both, of course, force and derivative unit pressure represents soul or spiritual concept, where density is material and more realistic world, and energy is product of both. We cannot experience matter without force, and we cannot sense matter without action of force field. And the last equation for thermodynamics for 2 points. This equation is very important in engineering to calculate isothermal process before and after pressurization of gases. We have the same example as with isothermal process, only gas compression is very rapid process. T approaches zero. In such rapid process, we get from first thermodynamic process that no heat exchange happened with surroundings. All mechanical work was gone to temperature and pressure buildup inside a cylinder. We insert internal energy enthalpy du expression and work expression dW into first law of thermodynamics equation. We express dT temperature change from differential equation of ideal gases. Insert this expression into previous equation and we get such equation. Express universal gas equation with Mayer equation. Multiply last equation from specific heat difference, and rearranging components accordingly we get equation of such. In last equation, these members cancels and we get such equation. Divide last equation from isochoric specific heat and we get such equation in the end. Small cap Greek letter gamma is adiabatic process exponent, non-dimensional constant, and only depends on what type of gases we deal with. For air, this value is 7/5. Divide last equation from P and V and integrate accordingly from variables dP, dV, and we get such integration equation. And as we know from school, logarithm multiplied by constant can be written as raised by constant inside logarithm brackets, and logarithm summation can be replaced by multiplication. And in the end, last equation equals to energy equals unit 1. To prove that energy equals enthalpy, and enthalpy are energy divided per mass unit 1, we need to show numerical solution of cannonball projectile acceleration by pressurized air. We have cylinder with compressed air to 3 bars. Open very rapidly gate valves, and in the end we will calculate velocity W of steel ball projectile in the end of a barrel. When the length of barrel is 0,6 meters and diameter 0,1 meter. By knowing diameter of steel ball projectile, mass is equal to velocity W of steel ball projectile we calculate from such energy relation equation. Ball velocity only depends from one factor, and that is pressure P inside compressed cylinder. This fact weird. Mass quantity of compressed air inside cylinder has no impact to steel ball velocity. In ideal case condition, of course, no pressure losses in compressed cylinder, It can be 0.01 grams or 100 tons mass with 3 bars pressure. No matter, velocity will be the same. Compressed mass quantity does not matter to energy or velocity parameters. That is all, folks. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.